So welcome back to filmharriet.net for the latest entertainment news, reviews and interviews. And here is Kris Webb.
Hello, Phil.
Now, the last time you saw Kris was at Christmas, if you were watching this channel, because you were in Panto.
That's right.
At the RVT.
That's right. Bend Over in Boots, the really aptly named Panto at VAUXHALL Tavern, which was full of crassness, crudeness.
Yeah.
Mark, that's it, go in the royal carriage.
We had to actually rearrange the shot, the frame, because we couldn't get your hair in.
The higher the hair, the closer to God, as Dolly would say.
Now, we know you're a Beyonce fan.
Massive Beyonce fan.
One thing you wanted to see at the BFI Flare, Waiting for B.
Without a doubt.
Now, this is a documentary that follows a group of guys, and girls as well, Beyonce fans.
Yeah.
In Brazil, Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo.
Outside the stadium. Literally camping outside the stadium for 2 months.
Intense. And it was intense because it was 2 months in canvas tents.
They were intense. Yeah. That they were using as costumes at one point.
Working that catwalk, working that road outside the stadium, wearing a fucking tent. Sorry, can I swear? So when I was 14 or 15, I was quite obsessed with the band Texas. And
Charlene Spiteri.
I knew that they were going to be on the Paul Ross show, not the Jonathan Ross show, the Paul Ross show, which was like a TV show that was on late night on like a Friday night or something. And it recorded at the Café de Paris in Leicester Square. So every Friday, it recorded in the afternoon on a Friday. Every Friday for 3 weeks, I bunked off school. So I wrote myself a note every Friday saying, Kris has got a doctor's appointment, or Kris has got a dentist appointment. The first week I went, expecting them to be there. They weren't there. They were replaced by some Japanese bubblegum pop group. Second time I went, they weren't there. But I was on the same table as Jonathan Ross's mum and dad, and Paul Ross's mum and dad. And basically, I spoke to the runners. I said, when are they going to be there? And they were like, next week. So yet again, wrote myself a note in my planner, my school planner, literally wore my school uniform minus the tie and the blazer to the recording. And sure enough, they were there. And she was adorable. She was so lovely. I was in the front of the Café de Paris watching her sing, I think Black Eyed Boy, I think she did, and Say What You Want. And yeah, got her autograph, got a photo of her, and made my day. So
you're in a way just as obsessed as these people on Waiting for B. You can kind of understand where they were coming from, why they were doing that.
There's that sort of thing with youth, isn't there? That passion that it becomes your obsession, and everything, all of your energy gets invested into that.
One of the guys on the documentary sold his house to
I couldn't believe
to get ringside seats. Literally,
one of the guys, yeah. I felt that way about Texas at 15, but since then, probably the only person who I've really been so keen to see, because every time I see her, I know it's going to be great, is Beverly Knight. And so I saw her in Shepherd's Bush, then House of Apollo, then somewhere else, and then I can't remember where she was after that, which is really bad after I've just said that I really liked her. But I saw her 5 times because I knew every time would be amazing. So when
you were watching the documentary, did you think, oh, I've done that, or I can kind of understand the dance that they've gone to?
Phil, the dance routine.
The dance routines. I was hoping you were going to do a little rendition for us here. There's probably not enough room to, with all this equipment to do the...
Well, a little bit of single ladies. You can always squeeze up with single ladies. They did a lot of dance routines while they were queuing up, so to keep themselves entertained.
Whilst getting harassment from people that were driving past that were calling them fags and all these horrible names that these people were shouting at them in the street.
I think that's one of
They were quite brave, I thought.
They were brave.
Especially wearing the costume and the makeup in that queue while they were there.
And you wouldn't have expected it, but in the documentary there was a lot about gender politics, sexuality, race as well, talking about Beyonce's skin and the image that we're often told about black people, especially black females, feeling the pressure to whiten their skin or lighten their skin. That was mentioned quite a lot, and it came almost from nowhere in this documentary, just from these teenagers talking. And so you understand the pressures they face, because of projections that come from media.
I found that quite refreshing, because they were being quite honest about Beyonce, even though they love her. They were being quite honest about what they didn't like.
Oh, completely honest, and completely, along with that honesty about Beyonce and the sort of circumstances around her, they were saying that no concert will be like the Brazilian concert, the fans aren't like the Brazilian fans, and she gave her best show in Brazil. As a performer, you give your best show every night, and you try and do that. But everybody around the world will feel that, but as well as that, they were quite self-deprecating about it as well. It's that forgiveness you give to that artist, isn't it? You're just like, oh, I love you so much, I'll let you do that. I'll let you have that mistake. And there's a reason for this,
Towards the end of the documentary, the people were trying to push in front of them in the queue, and the security were kind of holding them back, saying these people have been there for nearly 2 months.
God, yeah.
So they have obviously the right to go first
Yeah.
because they deserve their place in the queue. But there were people that were trying to sneak in.
They were ready to
and
cut
they were
bitches.
having none of it.
They were ready to cut bitches. They were going to be like, you're fucking dead. Don't try and come for us because we will push you to the back. They started chanting, get to the back of the line, get to the back of the line. I totally get that passion. I get that because you do queue up. As a kid, when I used to go to like open auditions, that would be the situation. You'd queue up all day. You got there early, you got seen first.
Yeah.
Simple as.
Yeah.
And when people try to push in because they've got, they've got stuff going on that they have to get to, or they've got this appointment or that appointment, you're like, no, you're not.
Did you
going
find
first.
them likeable as people though?
I kind of loved the hairdresser. I think his name was Justin or Jordan. And they're all hashtagged in this documentary. So they've all got hashtags. So, you can easily find them, I guess, on Twitter. And I loved him because of his passion and his energy, but also because of the reverence that he brought to it. He just, when he wasn't sitting there queuing, he was doing a dance routine. Fearless, completely fearless. Yeah. Someone was calling him a faggot and he's like, fuck off.
Yeah, kiss my ass.
Kiss my ass. I didn't warm to the Beyonce impersonator, the female Beyonce impersonator. Didn't look like Beyonce.
No, there was
Looked more like Leona Lewis.
A scene where she's doing a club performance where the camera's just panned back at the crowd and the crowd looked a bit bored of the whole performance. Like, that ain't the real thing.
And the backing dancers were done. After about 2 seconds, they were like,
not flawless as the Beyonce song.
Wasn't flawless. She didn't wake up like that.
It's not a long documentary. I think it's just over an hour, isn't it? It clocks in at 70 minutes or something. Did you ever find yourself drifting off? I found there was a few moments where I was like, I'll keep up the pace.
Sometimes it's the case with trailers. It doesn't live up to it, does it? So yeah, there were a couple of points where I did sort of find a bit of a lull, unfortunately.
Yeah. Do you think it's something that just Beyonce fans would want to watch, or do you think people would watch it for other reasons because it's a documentary about fandom? Because what I found refreshing was that it didn't, like I said before, it didn't just show them as being totally worshipping her, everything that she did.
Beyonce fans will understand it, will totally understand the passion. And I actually have a friend, Nathan, who has seen Beyonce. I think at one point he saw her 3 times in 2 weeks. All 3 times he ran to the front. Like, he got as far in the queue as he could. I think he got there a day early in one case, but he ran to the front. And
there's one guy who dressed up, not to the extent of others, but he had the costume on, and he felt a little bit uncomfortable about doing that and going out. And he was talking about how Lady Gaga would have loved looking down into the crowd and seeing people dressed up for the occasion.
You see these, like Lady Gaga's got her little monsters, and she's going through a phase. I have to be a bit of a spoiler and say that I've seen the first episode of Drag Race, the new Drag Race with Lady Gaga. And I think she's going through a phase now where she's accepting and honouring the impact she's had on her fans. And I think it's always a perception, isn't it? You want that person you idolise to be approachable. That's why people ask people for autographs or a photo now, like a selfie. I like that he could question the impact of his outfit, though. That was quite amusing.
Yeah, quite honest.
Yeah.
It did make me wonder, watching it, what she would think watching this documentary.
I thought the same.
Would she be interested in that?
I thought the same, and I think she would watch it. I don't know that she'd necessarily be interested. She's got 2 babies on the way.
Yeah. She ain't got time for that.
She ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, I think she'd be interested in watching it, but she wouldn't lose any sleep over it. It was a very loving documentary towards her as an artist.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is next for you? Because we've seen you in Panto. We saw you in Joe Spring the Opera.
You saw me in Joe Spring the Opera.
What's coming? What's next?
What's next? So I've been working on a project, on a, believe it or not, a music project with this voice, Hay Fever, thank you, called Darling Lies, with someone you know very well.
Yes.
Mr. Jeremy Kimberley.
Yes.
And it's a music project that we've got website, darlinglies.com.
There you go, crafty little plug. Thrown in there.
Never done that before. And we're at the stage now where we're ready to make some accompanying music videos as well to kind of get it out there. But like I said, check the website, darlinglies.com.
Yeah, it sounded great. I have heard a little bit of it.
Oh, good.
Just little snippets.
Good, I'm glad.
I have heard quite a lot of it actually. On a loop. Not like complaining.
You don't want to sound wanky about music, do you? And especially about the music you've been involved in making, but there's a kind of like universal, what I'm trying to say is the best music has sort of universal elements, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some of the songs that we've done are really really affecting, I think.
I think you've sold it.
I hope so.
Kris Webb. Thank you for coming and reviewing Waiting for B.
Thank you for inviting me to see it. I'm
You're
really
welcome.
glad.
BFI Flare, you've seen quite a bit of BFI Flare so far.
I saw the Jewel documentary, Jewel Catch One, or Jules Catch One. Not sure of the grammar there. Jules Catch One, I'm going to go with, which was a disco documentary, and it was good. I wish there was some more disco in it, and I get why you can't have so much music rights, etc. And these are low budget films in some cases. So I've seen that, and I saw a lot more a couple of years ago. I wish I'd seen more this year, because every year it's always a great festival to have in London.
It's just time, isn't it? Because it runs so fast. It goes so quickly. You've got like a week, literally just over a week to get and see everything.
And you've got one film you want to see, but it clashes with that film. Yeah. And then life gets in the way and you can't see anything.
Well, no doubt the nenext time I see you, you're going to be talking about Darling Lies.
I'll be talking about Darling Lies, yes, I will.
See you next time.
Thank you, Phil.
Philmaria.net